Let's do this. All right. 2 characters, 4 endings. We fucking got this. All right. Let's just hurry up and put Arya to bed. But not actually. We're just gonna end the story, and that's it. All right, we're really gonna lean into it this time. We're gonna be like, no, I really mean my apology. Dude, like, I so mean it. It's nothing to do with the fact that we're in a basement and you're holding a hammer. I am sorry. I winced when Arya dug her nails into my leg. No, you don't. You're not really sorry. Not yet. She glanced down at my uninjured foot and then met my gaze, a sick grin spreading across her face. But you will be. Without another word, she brought the hammer down onto my other foot, the wet, ugly sound of flesh tearing and the shattering of bone echoing. The pain was almost blinding, and I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. Okay. Smashed. Uh-oh. This is a pretty accurate representation of where I'm at now in my life. So we know that let's try going back to sleep, but oh, okay, so see, my sanity went up, so that's not it. So maybe we try to escape, but then I think it gives you an option to, like, stop trying to escape. So then we stop and see what happens. So we're just like, fuck it. I don't know. I can't do this. I couldn't stand the pain. It felt like my hands were going to come off. I'd have to come up with something else. Tomorrow. When I was rested and it didn't hurt as bad. If I survived long enough anyways. Welcome to the behind the scenes of what I typically do to get all of the endings that I get. I just click on shit and dick around and see what kind of combinations I can come up with to keep these levels low, high, different levels, see what I can get. And I am definitely doing this as a creative process and not because I'm too lazy to edit around it, so do we go home? Oh, we asked. Go home. I couldn't take any more. No more. Please, no more. Please. Please make it stop. I started screaming. Arya's expression shifted quickly from annoyance to rage. Shut up. But I couldn't stop screaming. I didn't want to hear her do anything. I didn't want her to do anything else. I didn't want to hurt anymore. I just wanted to go home. She forced me back against the wall and clutched my head, banging it on the hard brick. I cried out in pain, and this made her angrier. She did it again and again, bashing my head against the wall until I felt a warm wetness at my back. When I stopped screaming, she let me go. I slid down the wall and laid on my side. I saw a red, huge stain on the wall, bits of flesh and brain matter smeared across it. Arya wiped her hands on her legs in disgust. I didn't scream anymore. We stopped screaming. I told her we could still be happy. Myself and Chris. 'Cause why not? And she said, prove it to me. Prove to me that you love him. That you won't hurt him anymore. I do. I will. I wanted to leave, of course, but I was serious. What can I do to prove it? Arya went silent. I waited, but she never answered. I realized with a sinking feeling that there was probably nothing I could do. Why even make it an option? then? If you're not even, why are you like, I'm gonna need you to prove that you actually love him? And then I'm like, tight, I can do that. How do you want me to do that? And then you're just like, and then do horrible things to me with a hammer. I've decided for this run, I would just make all the choices that I would in real life. Please continue whipping me with your barb whip. Okay, she's talking about how she could kill me and make me disappear, and that's it for me, and nothing would happen to her. And okay. Arya stabbed me in the neck with a needle and sighed. I need you gone. Everything went black. I wasn't aware of the time or the place. I just felt myself being moved. Why does he look like the announcer? Heavy, large hands ripped me from my spot and threw me into the cold night air. Heavy, large hands ripped me from my spot and threw me into the cold night air. Here she is. She's really good stock. I beat her down and she's still not dead. She's a bit worn out though. Are you sure you want her? Of course, of course. A sickeningly cheerful voice rang out. Is this Ren? Because I am going to lose my shit. Is she selling me to Ren? Is this where we're at? With our lives? This is just, we've just full circled this shit? Well, I started off this game series by being sold to Ren. Might as well finish it with this exact goddamn situation. Whoever I was, I could hear his voice boom and echo off the walls. I'm sure I could find a buyer. I'm confident in your skills. Thank you, sir. I could hear Arya's heels click away at the floor as she walked off. Wait. I tried to call out, but large hands grabbed me and started to drag me away from the sound of Arya's heels. Take them away. And take care of the damage as best as you guys can. We have to pretty them up for showtime. This game is bullshit. Did I get sold by Arya to then get picked up by Ren to be sold to Derek? I've decided to put that last ending very, very far back in the dark recesses of my mind, and we're just gonna finish out Chris's endings because what are you looking at, you little shit? Me? Duh, look at me. I'm the fucking dictionary definition of beauty. Okay, so this is where we ended off last time, and we went for the obvious death and just tried to like get those little boards off the door and sneak our way out of here, and it did not work. We got stabbed to death. So this time we're just gonna be like, Chris, and then just go find out where he is. I got up and walked around the house looking for Chris. Chris? I called out. Upstairs. he yelled from the bedroom. I followed his voice and found him sitting in our room. He was just staring at the wall. It's a really good pastime, just sitting on a bed, looking at a wall, not moving. Super fun, you should try it. I got up behind him and rubbed his shoulders. What's wrong? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. I literally just beat you unconscious, tied you to a chair, did some unconsensual things to you, and then beat you some more, and then did some consensual things, starved you, and now I've let you out, but I've boarded up our house so you can't leave. But nothing's wrong. He paused as if he were thinking about it and looked over his shoulder at me. Why are you being nice to me now? What can I say? I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know. Maybe being a bitch was just getting old. I put my chin on his head. Oh, because that's really how you flip the switch on that. It's just, somebody's being a bitch to you, smack them around a few times. They'll come around. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't listen to any advice that I have to give you today, because I am consuming adult beverages and cannot be trusted. He fiddled with the blanket nearby. He stood up and left the room again. I wasn't sure what was going on in his head. I laid down on our bed, smelling his pillow. The dime store cologne lingered on his pillow. I closed my eyes, thinking. I felt someone sit down next to me. The bed dipped beneath the extra weight, and I sat up, looking at Chris. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept in days. What was he doing up here if he wasn't sleeping? Working out? That seems to be the only thing he fucking does. Sup, beach? He looked over at me and put his hand on my head, touching my hair. Don't let me keep you up. He put on his shoes and grabbed a bag. I looked at him and then at the bag. Whoa, wait a second now. I looked at the door and he slung his bag over his shoulder. I'm gonna see myself out. See yourself out? Is he leaving? Why? Look at what I did to you. I'm tired. You're probably tired of this shit too. I'm just gonna go. I mean, yeah, look at what we turned him into. He was a perfectly fine, sweet, normal human being, and we have made him a person that has to beat his own wife to make her nice to him. Baby, walk out that door. Walk out that door and never come back. I'll make sure that Arya doesn't bother you here anymore. He rubbed the back of his head. He looked at the floor and turned away from me. Well, I've found our two endings. I guess we'll do the bad one, where we do not end up with him, but he actually gets to leave the house, so it's like bad. Escape, Chris. Escape while you can. And then we'll go back. Running away again? Yeah, I am. I can't be like this anymore. We're just going to hurt each other. You already did, friend. That is not a future tense situation. You don't understand me, and he looked at his hand and flexed his fingers. I can't control myself anymore. You turned me into someone I hate. Someone like you. Oh, burn, you dumb bitch. Someone who needs to make someone else feel small to give themselves an inflated sense of worth. It's not worth it. I need to get help, and so do you. He took a deep breath and sighed. Goodbye, Cece. Safe travels, Chris. Get therapy. Look at him. He slammed the door behind him. Darn, got the bad ending. Maybe while he's going to get therapy, he can be like, hey, Marcus, You know, just like, let's go on a little boys trip. There's a boys' night out to therapy. he'll fix these characters one person at a time. All right, this time we're gonna be like, no, don't go. I want you to be here, so I have somebody to verbally and physically abuse. Who am I going to do that to if you leave? I quickly grabbed Chris's arm as he turned to leave, and he looked back at me. What are you doing? Don't leave. I repeated as I grabbed him and tried to yank him back into the room. Chris let me lead him back into the bed. I pulled him over me and put my hand behind his head. Don't leave me. I can't be toxic to you anymore. Baby, it's been a day. It's been a singular day. It's fine. We can fix it. Just give me one more chance, okay? Please. Chris bit down on his lip and leaned down. He kissed me on the lips, his soft breath causing a tightness in my chest. My heart started to race, my face against his chin. I gripped the back of his head, tangling my fingers in his hair, pushing his mouth over mine, our lips mashing together. Mashing. I could feel his tongue slipping past my lips. I felt overwhelmed. Everything told me this wasn't my husband, but I knew it was him. I need you. You can't talk to me like you have anymore. And I'll stop hurting you. Unless... Okay, I'll do my best. But already I'm like, I'll try to not be a bitch to you. I know I just said 30 seconds ago that I would be better, but like... We'll have to see. I whispered as I gripped his shirt. He ran his hands over my hips and kissed my neck. His hands caressed my skin. I bit my lip and put up my wrists, leaving myself at his mercy. Ugh, gross. They're being gross. Can you try that rope bondage stuff on me? Okay. Why? I like it. I kind of like it when you dominate me and hurt me a little. They bit me. I'm thinking about it. He had rope under the bed? Okay, he pulled some rope out from under the bed. I could feel the rough texture grazing my skin, and I sat up. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for being an asshole. Chris pulled the ropes around me. He sounded so rough and confident. I wasn't used to it, but I nodded and let him work. I felt him twisted around me in a web of rope, tying me down, opening me up for him. He finally flipped me around and I couldn't move. His eyes roamed my body and he leaned into my neck, biting down and pulling one of the ropes. They're just doing stuff. It's just gonna be them doing nasty shit until the end. So we'll just skip to the end. They did all the nasty shit and there's still more stuff. I woke up in the morning without Chris next to me. He shaved and took a shower and I waited in bed for him. I looked up at him when he came back into the room. Chris? I got up and rubbed my arm. He cut me off before I could say anything else. I think we need to talk. Oh, is he gonna leave us anyways? Is he gonna leave us anyways? Shit. Chris put his hand on my shoulder. A gentle but firm hand. We need to get help. He was struggling to get the words out. He didn't seem timid like he always been before, but it felt like he'd burned out all of his anger. Now he just sounded hopeless and empty. I don't want to go, but I don't want to treat you like that anymore. I truly am sorry I did. You motherfuckers made me like one of these characters, and for that, I will never forgive you. But we've both done things we shouldn't have. I took a shaky breath. Yeah, that wasn't right. None of it was. I don't know where my head went. All these years I've been horrible to you, but you always stayed. Even though you deserved better. Yeah, well, what I did wasn't any better. Yeah, but it was one day. One day, compared to years. He wrapped his arms around me and held me close. They say people can't change, and if that's true, then we can always break it off, but we can still try our best first. I sat with him, listening to his heartbeat. It'd been so long since we'd just been near each other like this, not touching or talking, just being close. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed it. I'm sorry. It didn't fix anything to say that. Every apology in the world wouldn't make a difference after everything I had done. But I still felt like I had to say something. He had to know I meant it. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. He didn't say anything back. It was the same terrible silence he'd suffered every time he told me he loved me, and I just stared. I don't get it. I never realized how much it hurt him. I wanted to take it all back, all the cruel things I'd said, all the harsh silences, every time I'd belittled him. I apologized again and again and again. I hoped someday he would believe me. I hoped someday I would deserve to hear him say, I forgive you. And then they were together. I'd say probably about a month later, they enrolled in couples therapy. The first 2 sessions were all right, but then afterwards, we're just kind of like, yeah, but you're kind of annoying. And then we just go right back into being a bitch, and then he just straight up strangles us to death, and then goes to jail. 0 out of 10, worst ending. He should have just left. All right, we did it. We have gotten all of the endings for Chris and Arya, the fucking disgusting Wonder Twins. And I am only slightly inebriated. So I feel like I need to make some more bad choices. So I'm going to hop straight into the next character. Hopefully not literally. And that should be up already if you want to check it out. And if not, I'll just see you whenever you decide to mosey on back.